Conversation that my wife and we had just a few weeks ago. We were driving actually with the kids, if I could figure this out. We were actually driving with the kids, and out of the nowhere, she looks at me, she goes, "I am just so worried and scared that one day you are going to come out and divorce me." And I said, "No, I'm not going to divorce you. But I don't want to move too fast." No, I am going to slow it down because we do have folks from Arkansas here, so give it up for them. No, Arkansas is great. Arkansas is great. Actually, their dating website just hit #1 on the charts the other day. Did you see this? Ancestry.com. It really doesn't talk to. I know. I don't want to be mean. It's still too early. But my wife is here with me, and I'm going to talk about her a whole lot. She's a source of a lot of my humor. And she said, and that's funny because she says I'm the source of a lot of her pain. But every time before I perform, she always likes to slip a little note in my pocket. And I caught her one time because I thought it was something else, but apparently it was just putting a note in my pocket. And it's words of encouragement. It's things to get me motivated for when I go out on stage so that there's no nerves. So if you guys don't mind, I'd like to share those words of encouragement with you if you guys don't. Is that okay?
Yeah.
There are always little sweet nothings that she puts on here, like, "I didn't know they had cars in Arkansas." Wait, what? Okay. She's a good woman, but I may sound like I talk a little bit different, and that's good because I don't really want to sound like I'm from Oklahoma too much. But you gotta love a state whose governor, her last name really reflects the kind of job that she's doing. Phelan. Yeah, I know. Some of us probably voted for her. What choice we really have, actually. But I was born and raised in Kansas, and if you've never been to Kansas, if you're raised there, you actually have two choices. You're either a Christian or Democrat. And I was a disappointment. But I have my nephew here. Shout out to my nephew Dakota. He's here from Kansas. He's an up and coming improver. He lacks just that one thing that you need as an improver. It's talent, but it's going to come. It's going to come. Don't worry. I want to talk a little bit about current events. How many of you guys keep up with current events? Speaking of current events, who's wearing their fat pants now? Holidays, because we ate a ton of food. Okay. I'll move on from that one. That one doesn't work. So, speaking of current events, did you all see that Metallica, we know who Metallica is, right? Okay, some people know Metallica. I was at a heavy metal bar and I did this bit, and I said, "Metallica," and they just kind of looked at me and they're like, "Play some Skinner!" I'm like, "I'm a comedian, but I will do my best." But apparently Metallica performed the other day in Antarctica. And for some of us kids that are used to Tulsa Public Schools, Antarctica is one of the 7 continents. It's a tragedy. But Metallica performed in Antarctica. They wanted to be one of the only bands that have actually performed on all the continents. And it was a sold-out show. All the 18 people they brought with them went. And they didn't have anywhere else to go. But they did some of their greatest hits. There was Enter Sandman, and I got to see the performance. It was like, "Exit light, end of night." So, it's because it's cold. Okay. Well, going along of great performers, they actually asked Kanye West if he would perform there, which I wasn't sure if they're talking about great performers while they spoke to him. But I think it was one of the greater, more reputable places like Us Weekly, and they wanted to know, "Kanye, if given the opportunity, wouldn't you like to perform in Antarctica as well?" And he goes, "Excuse me, I'm a performer. I'm an artist. What do I want to perform in front of a bunch of giraffes and zebras for?"
Salam.
I love Kanye West. Kanye and Kim K and Little Baby Norway, they're just coming along. I couldn't think of a better creation other than Lucifer. So I think we're right on track here. But I also saw that Miley Cyrus got Entertainer of the Year from MTV. Did you see that? Man, I'm so old. I remember when entertainers actually entertained. That's the thing with me. And I also remember when MTV stood for music television. But Yeah, what can we expect? We can't expect too much from the demon spawn of somebody who made the song popular, Achy Breaky Heart. So, I think we're lucky we got away with what she did. I didn't know if I was going to make it out here in enough time tonight. I was spending a lot of time trying to get some insurance from Obamacare. And, man, that thing has failed more times than Dewey Bartlett. This guy... No, with regard to Dewey Bartlett, he's actually failed so many times that the Bushes actually gave him a ringing endorsement. So, but I got a little confused the other day because someone started talking about Obamacare, and I didn't know what it was at first because I thought Obamacare was actually a daycare that was started by Oprah Winfrey for kids without birth certificates. I was completely lost. Way off bounds. I was completely wrong. So, I saw a thing about bulimics the other day, and I got to admit, with all the holiday food, I'd actually thought about being bulimic, to take care of business, but the whole thought just makes me gag. So I didn't want to mess with that. But I drive. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I drive back and forth from Oklahoma City to Tulsa for my job, and I do that drive every day because I lack common sense. And I drive that job. I drive back and forth, and I got really tired the other day, and so I did what the song said, and I asked Jesus to take the wheel. And apparently Jesus needed me to end up in the ditch that day. And so I called up Carrie Underwood's people. I said, "What are you guys doing? This doesn't work at all. You're going to get a lot of people killed." And apparently I got some Italian woman because she goes, "Sir, it's a metaphora." I said, "Okay, well, who's it a metaphora?" Well, apparently Jesus wanted to hang up the phone at that point in time because that was done. Tom had mentioned the elf on the shelf earlier, and I've never done that, but I know I always get into so much trouble around the holidays. My kids are actually, instead of elf on the shelf, they're used to dad on the couch. So that's usually how mine ends up. My wife, she actually asked me, she goes, "So what do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "Well, how about a little respect?"
Oh.
And so she gave me a dog. And it peed on me. So, I mean, that pretty much works out. But we've got some Arkansas folks here, and I really don't have a huge problem with Arkansas. My wife and I, we actually got married there. We've been married for a little over a year now. And we had one of those very picturesque, one of those weddings that you would dream about. If you ever been married in Arkansas, it's the stuff dreams are made of. If you dream in deliverance. But no, it was very great. We went there, and if you've never been, we filled out the marriage certificate. And, we had to make sure that we fill everything out correctly because I asked, relationship of the bride to the groom. And, with me on it. But, and in case they run into any sort of literacy problems, because apparently a lot of Oklahomans go over there, they have, they give you the option of check boxes in case you can't read it out, so, and then by cousin they said, to what extent. So, no, the good thing is my wife and I are not that related, so it was great. We didn't meet the criteria. But, has anybody here ever seen The Princess Bride? Okay. This wedding was right out of The Princess Bride. I mean, well, first we got our chapel. It was on Squeal Like a Pig Lane, and we went to our chapel, and just like The Princess Bride, right on the outside, it had the rodents of unusual size, so that was cool. It made us relate. A giant and a Spaniard, they were our witnesses in the back. And we got ready to go, and my wife and I, we wrote out our own wills. Not wills, wow. She's thinking ahead. No, we wrote out our own vows. And you say vow, I say last will. No, it's not that bad, except I work for the state, and she's constantly reminding me that my life insurance is worth more than my retirement. So she doesn't want me to retire. So we go, and we wrote out our own vows, and I'm of course, Michelle, you're my muse, my dream, you're my everything. I can't wait to share this journey with you. And then it's her turn. She pulls hers out, and she goes, "Matt, I lost a bet. Let's get this over with." But then the preacher comes out, he opens up the book, and he's like, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. But love, true love. And then in the back, I swear this is this old little guy that was going, inconceivable. And that's weird, because I don't know, he knew that my wife can't have kids, so I'm not sure where that came from. I know, it's not my fault. Okay, I'd like to tell you guys a story. You guys like story time? Yeah. Let's have a story. I grew up with an older brother. And my brother was 6 years older than me. Well, not was, he still is. I didn't catch up. And he was 6 years older. Sorry, I'm going to get comfortable real quick. And if you've never had an older brother that's 6 years older than you, let me tell you what it means. Find the biggest bully that you can at school and bring his ass home with you. That's pretty much how that works. Just bring him home. But my brother and I, we decided to go on a ski trip. And we went to go get on a Greyhound, okay? We get on a Greyhound. And I don't know if you've ever been on this kind, but it was like, it was so slow and it had the sleeper bed. I don't even think it was a Greyhound. It's more like a Basset Hound because it wouldn't even make it the way it needed to go. It's just kind of, and then we'd stop a little bit, and then it'd stop a little bit. But we made it there, but here's how I know we made it there. We were going to Winter Park, Colorado, and I had fallen asleep on the sleeper part of the bus. And I don't know if you've ever been in this. It's like pretty much taking a couple of cardboard boxes and putting them on top of each other. You call that a bed. It's also known as the Tulsa Embassy Suites. But I was in this bed, and I woke up to the bus going vroom, 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 like this, just vibrating back and forth. And we were stuck. We were stuck because our driver, in his infinite wisdom, did not know to put chains on the tires going to Winter Park, Colorado. So let me tell you how this story wraps up. There's a couple other things I can get to, but they're telling me I'm out of time. So let me tell you this thing right here. We couldn't get me off the bus immediately because you know how when you sleep, if you're near really cold air, you kind of leak a little bit from your eyes, your mouth, your nose. I was fortunate enough that I leaked from all of those orifices. And so in the cold weather, in the cold air, against the cold window, we couldn't get me off the bus because I was stuck against the window. I was stuck against the window while my brother and the rest of the passengers were busy stuck outside laughing at the kid who's got his face stuck to the glass inside the bus. That's my brother. And that's my time, folks. Thank you very much.